Hi, so this is D.V. Rao, the Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, DBS Institute of Technology. So today I am explaining regarding dimension analysis. So dimension analysis is a method of deriving equations. So generally equations, mathematical equations can be made by derivations or by experimentations. Okay, but this is a new method finding equations of any subject in a very simple way. So it's called dimension analysis. So generally dimension analysis already you have studied in fluid mechanics. Once again, so we are going to discuss in fluid this heat transfer. So in heat transfer, this dimension analysis we are using to find equations of convective heat transfer. In convective heat transfers, so we are going to use so many equations for so many conditions. So some equations we can find out by experimental methods, and some equations we can find in a very simple way using dimension analysis. Again, in dimension analysis there are two methods are there. One is Rayleigh's method, another one is Buckingham Pi theorem. Using both the methods we can find the derivations, we can find the equations of heat transfer and fluid mechanics. But here we are going to use Buckingham Pi theorem. Why? Because any problem, it contains n variables. If number of variables are very less, then we can use Rayleigh's method. If the number of variables are more, then this Rayleigh's method becomes more laborious, it becomes more confusing. So in such cases, we go for the Buckingham's Pi theorem. So when we use Buckingham Pi theorem, if the number of variables are more than the fundamental dimensions, here fundamental dimensions means, so there are three basic fundamental dimensions: mass. So fundamental dimensions means generally M, L, T. These we can take it as a fundamental dimensions. Mass, length and time can take as fundamental dimensions. So here there are three fundamental dimensions. Sometimes we take heat also from fundamental dimensions, but here generally these three are the main fundamental dimensions. If number of variables are more than the fundamental dimensions, then we go for Buckingham's Pi theorem. So here, so pi means, what is the meaning of this pi term? Pi means it is a non-dimensional number. So pi means it is a non-dimensional number. So what is the meaning of non-dimensional number? Means the particular number don't have any units. So the meaning of non-dimensional number or pi term is the particular term don't have any units. It's a dimensionless number. Suppose example, Reynolds number. Suppose there is a Reynolds number. So Reynolds number don't have any units. It is a number. It is a number. It don't have any units. Even though it is a number, it represents flow property. Similarly, Mach number also don't have any unit, but even though it is a number, it represents the velocity. Like this, there are so many. So there is another number of Prandtl number. So Prandtl number also, it is a number. It don't have any dimensions, even though it represents some convective heat transfer. Okay, like this. So these are the dimensionless numbers. Okay, even though they don't have any dimensions, it represents some property. Like this. So those dimensionless numbers we call it as pi terms. Okay. So such kind of pi terms we can derive using this Buckingham Pi theorem. These pi terms we derive with the help of Buckingham Pi theorem. So how to derive this pi terms? how to derive this dimensionless numbers that we'll see for any problem. Suppose we take one problem. That particular problem, it consists of x1, x2, x3, x4, xy up to xn variables. That means the particular problem, it consists of n variables, x1, x2, x3 up to xn. So in these variables, we take x1 as a dependent variable. In these variables, x1 as a dependent variable, x1 as a dependent variable, and remaining x2 to up to xn are the independent variables. Remaining all the variables are independent variables. We will assume. Then how we can express this? x1 is a function of x2, x3, x4 up to xn. So like this we can represent x1 is a function of x2, x3 up to xn. And by applying this Buckingham pi theorem, these are all variables we can represent as a n minus m pi terms. All n variables with the help of Buckingham pi theorem, we can write it as pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 up to pi n minus m. Like this n minus m pi terms we can derive. And all the pi terms are in some relation. The function of these pi terms equal to 0. Okay. So then, how the pi term looks like? In each pi term, what are the variables will be there? Okay. So generally in every pi term, there will be some variables. One variable will be non-repeating variable, and a few variables are repeating variables. In every pi term, one variable is non-repeating variable, and there will be some repeating variables. Now the task is, our task is, what is non-repeating variable, what are the repeating variables, how to find, how to select. So that will be the task for finding the pi term. So here, first of all, we have to select what are the repeating variables. So here we selected as x2, x3, x4 are the repeating variables. Here we selected as x2, x3, x4 are the repeating variables, and remaining variables are non-repeating variables. Here x2, x3, x4 are the repeating variables. Once we select the repeating variables, the remaining all variables are non-repeating variables. Okay. So once we selected x2, x3, x4 are the repeating variables, the pi 1 we can written as x2 to the power of a1, x3 to the power of b1, x4 to the power of c1 into x1. Similarly, pi 2 we can written as x2 to the power of a2, x3 to the power of b2, x4 to the power of c2 into x5. Only the last term only it changes. Remaining repeating variables in every pi term we can find. Similarly, we can write pi 3 up to pi n minus 1, where the pi terms we can write in Buckingham pi theorem. Okay. Like this. So in every pi term there will be some variables are repeating variables, some variables are non-repeating variables. So here, so our main task is how to select repeating variables. Okay. So first, to know how to select the repeating variables, now we will see. Method of selecting repeating variables. Now we will see the method of selecting repeating variables. So this is very, very important task for finding pi terms. This is very, very important task for finding pi terms or dimensionless numbers. Here, method of selecting repeating variables means the first point should be the dependent variable. The dependent variable we should not select it as a repeating variable. So in every problem there will be one dependent variable will be there. In every problem there will be one dependent variable will be there. That particular dependent variable should not be selected as a repeating variable. And the second point will be, so how to select the repeating variable means, here we are going to see three properties. Okay, so you have to select a repeating variable such that that particular variable should represent the geometric property. We have to select a repeating variable such that the particular variable should represent geometric property. So what is the geometric property? Geometry of the particular object. It may be a length, it may be a diameter, or it may be height of the object. Like this, one repeating variable should represent the geometric property, and other repeating variable should represent the flow property. So flow property means either it may be velocity or acceleration. Okay, so like this, velocity, acceleration, it represents the flow property. Like this, one variable should be either it may be velocity or it may be acceleration, and the third repeating variable should represent fluid property. The third repeating variable should represent fluid property. Fluid property means density or kinematic viscosity or specific weight. So like this, so we have to select repeating variables, 3 repeating variables, and the 3 repeating variables should represent these 3 properties. So like this, from the problem there will be n variables will be there. From the n variables, you have to select 3 variables, and one variable represents geometric property, other variable represents flow property, other variable represents fluid property. Like this, you have to select 3 variables, and the 3 variables will be repeating variables. These 3 variables will be repeating variables, and in every pi term, so we find all these 3 repeating variables. In every pi term, all the 3 repeating variables will be there. Like this, we can select the repeating variables. Like this, we can write pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 up to pi n minus m. So we can find out the n minus m pi terms, and so then the pi 1 is a function of pi 2, pi 3 to pi n minus m, or the function of pi 1, pi 2 up to pi n minus m equal to 0. So like this also we can represent. So here, so pi term is, it is a dimensionless. It's a dimensionless number. So generally in heat transfer we use so many dimensionless numbers. Okay, Reynolds number is a dimensionless number, Prandtl number is a dimensionless number. Okay, and Biot number. Okay, Nusselt number. Okay, so like this, in heat transfer, in convective heat transfer, we use so many non-dimensional numbers, and how those derivations we can find means with the help of dimension analysis. So dimension analysis is one method for finding the equations involved in dimensionless numbers. Okay. So like this, using this procedure, using these procedures, with the help of this Buckingham pi theorem, we can find dimensionless numbers, or we can find the equations of the particular situations. We can solve the convective and convective heat transfer problems. Again, convective heat transfer problems, there are 2 types. One is forced convection and free convection. In forced convection, we can derive the equations. In free convection also, we can derive the equations using Buckingham pi theorem.